Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are tackling something literally every single person who has ever glanced at a stock chart has wrestled with. You know the feeling. We are breaking down the core concepts from The Disciplined Trader, Master Your Mind in Markets. And look, our absolute main goal for this explainer is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. We want to help you transform from an emotional gambler, the kind of trader reacting to every little twitch of the ticker, into a cold, calculated professional trader. We're going to look at the exact framework you need to strip the emotion right out of your trading.
Okay, let's dive into this structured blueprint for a perfect trading day. First, we're looking at emotions versus professional process. Then, the daily trading checklist. Next up, market timing and zones, followed by breaking the trading urge, and finally, high-probability trade setups.
Section 1. Emotions versus professional process. The inner battle. Now, I want to be super clear right from the jump. The biggest villain out there in the market? It's not the algorithms, it's not institutional money, it's actually our own brains and our emotions. There's this stark psychological contrast happening in our heads, and it is brutal. Think about it. After a loss, your brain immediately wants revenge, right? You just want to jump right back in and win it back to stop the pain. But ironically, after a win, your brain wants more. It hits you with all this overconfidence and greed. Honestly, both states are incredibly dangerous. And that's exactly why professional traders, the ones who actually survive, focus strictly on their process, never their feeling.
So how do we actually stop those emotions in their tracks? Well, I want you to literally pause and run this specific litmus test in your mind whenever you feel that itch to click the buy or sell button. Ask yourself, is this setup clear and planned, or am I feeling urgent and impulsive? You have to be totally, completely honest with yourself here.
So the crucial point is this. If the answer to that question involves even the tiny bit of urgency, you do not trade. Urgency is an immediate flashing red flag. It means your emotions are driving the bus, not your logic. If you feel like you're going to miss out if you don't act this very second, take your hand off the mouse.
Moving on to Section 2, the Daily Trading Checklist, Building the Wall of Discipline. This is where we transition into the tangible steps we take to actually protect our capital, focusing on setting really strict, unbendable rules. Now that we kind of understand the psychological trap, we need these rules to act as the ultimate cure for overtrading and revenge trading. First, you only trade your first 1 to 2 setups. That's it. Second, a maximum of 2 trades per day. And third, this is huge, absolutely no trading after a loss. If your first trade gives you a nice profit, you either reduce your position size on the next one or you simply lock your screen until tomorrow. These fixed rules act like a physical brick wall against your emotional impulses. Let's see how this actually builds into a daily routine. Before taking any trade, you have to answer yes sequentially to all 4 of these steps. 1. Is your bias clear? 2. Has a pullback happened? 3. Do you have a confirmation candle? And 4. Is your risk clearly defined? If any answer here is no, even just one, you firmly walk away. You do not trade.
All right, Section 3, Market Timing and Zones, Navigating the Clock. Because trading is fundamentally bound to the clock, Knowing exactly when to step away is just as crucial as knowing what to trade.
Let's walk through the timeline of a typical day. From the 9:30 a.m. open to about 11:30 a.m., that's when you get your best, most predictable moves. But then we hit the middle of the day. From 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., we enter the choppy zone. You absolutely must avoid this time. Seriously, this is where retail traders give back all their hard-earned morning profits. Then, the market finally wakes back up at 2:30 p.m. for breakout time before you officially end your trading day at 3:15 p.m. You gotta stick strictly to these high-probability windows. Now, consider this reality. Booking profit is a skill. Holding greed is a mistake. The source material is crystal clear about our priorities here. Your absolute first goal is simply don't lose. And your second goal is to grow slowly. If you let greed dictate when you close a position, I guarantee you the market will eventually take it all back.
Section 4. Breaking the trading urge. Psychological emergency brakes. We really have to address that incredibly dangerous feeling of wanting to trade more right after you've just taken a nice profit. You feel invincible, right? But that is exactly when you're most vulnerable. When that urge hits, you need to implement the 15-minute delay rule. When you feel that intense, burning urge to jump back into the market, you must force yourself to wait exactly 15 minutes. Do not act immediately.
And why exactly do we wait 15 minutes? Well, because of this staggering statistic, 90%. By simply delaying your reaction for just 15 minutes, 90% of those impulsive, emotionally driven trading urges will completely disappear. Your brain chemistry just kind of settles down and logic finally returns to the driver's seat.
But how do you actually survive those 15 minutes without clicking a button? Well, you force a physical break. Breaking your physical connection to your trading environment is literally the most powerful way to break the psychological urge. So do one of these things immediately. Walk outside. Drink a glass of water. Just leave your phone in another room. You have to change your physical state to reset your mental state.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it completely reframes our purpose at the desk. My job is not to trade more. My job is to trade better. I mean, let that sink in. Your success is not measured by the volume of tickets you push. We have to completely transition our mindset away from quantity and strictly toward high-quality execution.
Which brings us to Section 5, High Probability Trade Setups, the Professional Standard. We've mastered the mind, so now let's focus on the strict technical execution required for entry, specifically after 9:45 a.m.
And this brilliantly illustrates the strict parameters we need. You only take trades that are trend-aligned, with a minimum 1 to 2 risk-to-reward ratio. For a call setup, you got to see the price above the pivot, plus VWAP and EMA alignment, and then you wait for a confirmed breakout. For a put setup, the price must be below the pivot, coupled with a confirmed VWAP rejection. It's a strict multi-time frame workflow. It's systematic, it's robotic, it leaves absolutely zero room for guessing.
And as you're waiting for those perfect technical setups, remember this little mantra. No trade is also a position, right? If the market gets choppy around midday, you just wait. If you already had a great first profit, you wait. Sitting on your hands and protecting your capital is a highly active, totally strategic choice.
To wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this final, really powerful thought. Who digests loss can win on trading. Professional trading isn't about never losing. That's impossible. It's about how you process, manage, and digest those losses without letting your emotions hijack your entire system. So I have to ask, are you finally ready to master your own mind so you can master the markets? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next explainer.